Hey, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, no matter what time it is. I hope that you, my friends, are having an amazing day. Look, today we're going to be talking about the HOA Addendum. Not one of my favorite documents, but as a designated broker, I get to see what people make a lot of mistakes on, and this is absolutely one of those documents where there are a lot of mistakes. Generally, agents get this thing wrong, and so let me preface this just a little bit. You should be using this document every single time there's an HOA involved. And as a listing agent, I would love for you guys to put that into Flex MLS under the Documents section. I'm going to share my screen with you. We're going to get right into it. Looking at the HOA Addendum, you got Sammy Seller here. Here's the premises address. This is today's date. And this is where a lot of people get a little bit confused. HOA. Now, let's back this up for 2 seconds here. There's going to be an HOA, and then there could be potentially a master HOA. So, for example, here in Scottsdale, maybe you've got McCormick Ranch would be the master HOA, and there's fees associated with just McCormick Ranch. But inside McCormick Ranch, maybe you've got the Bella Vista condos or whatever the heck it is. So there's a small condominium association inside the master plan community. There are going to be fees for each of those associations. It is your job as a listing agent to verify those fees. So you literally have to call the HOA and say, hey, what are the fees? And I'm going to show you a little hack here. Let's go to condocerts.com, and you guys can sign up for an account. I'm going to say probably about 90% of the HOAs, at least in Arizona from my experience, are using this Condo Certs program. It's free to use. Guys, just make an account, and then they will give you the fees for either the master plan community or for the subdivision itself right then and there. So like you can have it emailed to you, they're going to be correct. You're going to know what the transfer fees are, what the disclosure fees are, all the different fees that we're going to sit here and put onto the HOA document. So I'm just going to use Bella Vista Condominium Association, and then the management company might be different. So just understand that a lot of these communities are using an association management company. It's not the association that's actually managing them themselves. They usually have like city property management or associated property management or one of these other third-party companies that are actually managing that HOA. So it's important to put both contact information in here. The amount of the dues, how often are they paid? So let's just say they're $200 monthly. Any amount of special assessments. Now, special assessments could be something small or it could be something very, very big. So there's a story about Landmark Tower condominiums that were in Midtown Phoenix, if you guys are familiar with this project. A couple years ago, there was a huge lawsuit where a lot of the homeowners got sacked with a big bill. And I think the bill was in excess of $15,000. Somebody put it in the comments section if they know this story particularly. I'd be really interested to see what the amount was. But it was a substantial amount to replace the entire HVAC system. And so, that became a special assessment. It became a lien against the property, essentially. So anybody that was trying to sell a property in Landmark Towers got sacked with this special assessment. You need to disclose that. That's a very, very pertinent piece of information for a buyer if they're going to inherit that special assessment. So let's just assume there's a special assessment here. Let's call it $100 per month. Now, that could start, 2 years ago. So we could say that started back in September of, 2020. And let's say that special assessment doesn't actually end until maybe, September of 2024. So very important to understand that. Now, you have to disclose the balance of that too. So, maybe put that in the additional terms. The balance of that special assessment is $6,000 or whatever the heck it is. Now, master association, this is what we were talking about before. So this might be McCormick Ranch, but the management company might be a different company. So we use somebody like Associated Property Management, and then they're going to have their own dues here. Maybe they're, $230, but they're quarterly, and they may also have a special assessment. Let's just assume they don't for this case. Other fees. Now, so other fees here would be something like a recreation center fee or any kind of fee that would be maybe an optional fee like a golf membership fee or something like that. You could put that in that section there. Let's say there's a transfer fee here of $200 for the Bella Vista Condominium Association, and then another $100 transfer fee for the Master Association. Capital improvement fees. Now guys, they can be called a lot of different things here. They can be actually called community reserve, asset preservation, capital reserve, working capital, community enhancement, future improvement fees, or whatever it is. This might be a big fee. Let's just call it $2,500 there for the HOA. Let's call it $500 for the Master Association. Prepaid fees, let's say it's 2 months prepaid fees. And be aware that the buyer generally pays those prepaid fees, and it can be part of the closing cost concession. If you guys are doing seller concessions for that, they can be wrapped up in that. Let's say it's $400 for the HOA and another 2 months for the master, so that'd be $200 there. Now, disclosure fees. Now, disclosure fees are paid generally in Arizona by the seller. It's very important to understand that, but it should be disclosed. And so let's say there's a disclosure fee here of $150 for the condo association for Bella Vista, and another $150 for the McCormick Ranch. Other fees here could be a rush fee. Let's say you know, you're in a rush, you need to get that thing closed, you can do a $100 rush fee. Then at this point, you're going to have the seller sign. But you do not want to move on to page number 3. This is where I'm going to cut you off. This is where you're going to download that document and shove it into FlexMLS under the Documents section. So you can go to the Add Change screen and then go down to Documents and add this in. And you should generally have at least the HOA and probably lead-based paint. Those are some things that I really like to see. If you like solar leases and stuff like that, you should do that. You know, this is one of our office listings here. You see in that my agent put in the SPUDs, the HOA information on the solar, more information on the solar, and then the actual solar contract. These are very, very nice things to have when it comes time to write an offer, and you don't want to be fishing around for these documents, and then, you know, it's redundant, and, you know, if you got 30 offers, you got 30 agents doing your HOA addendum for you, when you could have just done it, and it takes you, 5 minutes to do it properly. You can make sure that the fees are correct and that you're not just guessing, and so it's very, very important to do that. So that's it for that half. Now, when you guys are making offers, this is when you would do this. So here's where you're going to put the offeror's name, Bobby Buyer, and this is all negotiable. So please, as a listing agent, don't like pre-fill in page 3 because you think you're going to be cute, and it's all negotiable, right? So it's designed to be negotiable in the offer process. So don't fill it out ahead of time. So as a buyer's agent, download that thing from the document section, and let's just we can negotiate that, split 50-50 or whatever you want to do here. You can get really creative with it. Split anyway, 60-40, 90-10, you can do all that kind of stuff here. Right here, line 77, buyer shall pay all prepaid association fees. It's just the way it is. Again, that goes back to seller concessions. The seller concessions would allow the seller to take care of some of the prepaids, and so that can be done that way. And then line 78, seller shall pay all disclosure fees as required by Arizona law. Not really negotiable. Other fees, if there's other fees in there, like rec center fees or whatever it is, you can put that in there. Any other fees that are obtained, going to cost to obtain documents or anything like that, you should disclose that there. Now, additional terms, same thing, you can put additional terms in here. If there's rec center fees or if there's other fees or other clauses that you should know about, you're going to want to disclose that to the buyer here. And then you, at this point, would have the buyer and the seller sign that, and you, my friends, are good to go. So, that is it for the HOA addendum. Guys, if you have any questions or concerns, please let me know down in the comments section. If you haven't already, please take 2 seconds to like and subscribe. That means the world to me. And I hope to see you guys very, very soon. Thanks so much. Take care. See ya.